How to get more people streaming your music on Spotify. First off, getting streams on Spotify is much more than just a numbers game. Your streaming data is a really powerful way to see how different audiences are engaging with your music and what your marketing strategies should be moving forwards towards. On top of that, streaming royalties are an important income stream for unsigned artists. More streams means more money in your pocket. But before you can start racking up these streams, you need to get your music on Spotify through a music distributor. And luckily at Ditto Music, we have a 30-day free trial where you can release unlimited music to Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, and loads of other platforms and keep 100% of the royalties that you earn. Hit the link in the description to sign up and try it for yourself. Alright, one last thing before we actually get into it. Make sure you subscribe to the Ditto Music YouTube channel. I'm gonna need you to like and hit that bell so you do not miss a single video. And remember to leave any comments or questions below. We'll be down in the comment section answering as many as we can, so get involved. Okay, so let's go. 11 ways to get more streams on Spotify as an unsigned artist. Tip 1, don't buy fake streams. Okay, so this first one is probably the most important, but also the most obvious. Do not buy fake streams. It's really that simple. Fake streams, illegal streams, artificial streams, whichever way you want to put it. They're almost always guaranteed to get your music banned, get your Spotify account either penalized or permanently disabled, and they can also lower your royalty rate overall for other artists out there too, which is never fair on them. If someone ever tells you that they can get you a guaranteed number of streams in exchange for cash, then they're going to use bots and streaming farms, and reality is that's just bad news. If you're actually serious about a long-term music career, growing your brand organically is the only way to get that real and honest success. Focus on creating the actual community of genuine fans around your music who love and appreciate what you put out. Tip 2. Claim your Spotify for Artists profile. And if you've been on the Ditto Music channel before, then you'll know that we're big fans of artist services like Spotify for Artists. So if you're releasing music on Spotify, you need to be signed up for Spotify for Artists. With a Spotify for Artists account, you'll be able to customize your profile. You can change your profile pic, add a bio, include any information about your upcoming releases, gigs, or anything else you want to promote. You'll be able to pitch your unreleased music for playlisting, see analytics and streaming data about your listeners and your music's performance over time, and even get a blue tick on your profile to show that you are an official Spotify verified artist. You'll even be able to access a number of music tools, exclusive artist features, and helpful resources for using the app. All of these benefits are going to be a massive help when it comes to growing your listener base, both on and off the platform, which will inevitably lead to more streams of your music. We've got an entire guide on how to go about claiming your Spotify for Artists account if you haven't already, so we'll leave that linked for you in the description down below. Tip 3, complete your Spotify profile. After you've claimed your Spotify for Artists account, you'll want to make sure you've also spent some time really kitting out your profile to the best it can be. Here's what a profile should look like. High quality profile picture that represents who you are, an artist bio with details about you, links to your social media account are so important, and even a pinned artist pic. This is essentially where you can highlight a track, an album, or a playlist to the top of your profile, so it's what listeners see when they find you. Your own track artwork, whether that's a single cover, an EP, or even an album. The key to getting more streams is treating your Spotify profile like you would any of your other social media profiles. Having a complete, up-to-date, high-quality profile that accurately reflects your brand is naturally going to make people want to stay on it for longer and avoid them dropping off any earlier than they need to. Listeners aside, if you want the platform to reward you with things like playlist placements, fans also like, features, and more, then play the algorithm game by regularly updating your account to show Spotify you're an active user who really makes the most of the online real estate they're giving you to build your brand. Tip 4, utilize Spotify's pre-save campaigns. If you want to boost more streams of your music, your release strategy is just as important as the music that you're putting out. Alright, so think about it. There's tens of thousands of new tracks released on Spotify every day, which means that there's a very slim chance that your track is is going to see any kind of high streaming attention all on its own. That's where having a properly planned, prepared, and well-executed release strategy comes in. A big part of the strategy should be allocating time well in advance to create a Spotify pre-release campaign in the lead up to your release date. Pre-release campaigns are an incredible opportunity to encourage fans and followers to save your upcoming release to their Spotify music library. And it's a step that even big established artists don't skip, because it's almost guaranteed streams for your track. Spotify pre-saves are particularly valuable because when a follower pre-saves your track, it will also end up in their Spotify release radar playlist, boosting your chances of getting onto other algorithmic and big editorial playlists like New Music Friday and Discover Weekly. Promotion-wise, it's also a great way to build buzz and anticipation in the lead up to your release. But streaming-wise, it'll massively push the number of streams that your track sees early on, helping it get shared out and grow even bigger in the days after. Tip 5, pitch directly to Spotify playlists. Pitching your music to Spotify's in-house creator team could get your track on some of the most highly streamed and followed playlists on not just a platform, but in the music listening world as a whole. So you'll definitely need to be signed up to Spotify for Artists. But once you are, you can start submitting music through Spotify's playlist pitching portal. But if you've never pitched your music to Spotify directly, make sure you check out the description below for a step-by-step guide on how to do it. But before you start submitting anything, here's some of the rules to be aware of around Spotify's editorial playlist submissions. You can only submit unreleased music. You can only submit one track at a time, and you should submit at least 1 week before your release date. And I mean at least. One thing to remember with Spotify playlist submissions is that it often takes a lot of time, rejections, and pushback before eventually getting your music featured. Now, that's not to say it's impossible. It's definitely worth your while trying, but just make sure you keep your playlisting efforts elsewhere too. Which brings us to the next point, tip 6, create your own Spotify playlists. If you're not having any luck with Spotify editorial playlists, that doesn't mean you can't get your music playlisted at all. Creating your own playlists that features some songs of your own is the next best thing you can do, and here's why. Spotify's algorithm is based around playlist placement, which means Spotify selects artists to feature on their playlist based on how many other playlists that artist features on. And on Spotify, any playlist feature counts, even ones off your own back. And in terms of getting more streams for your music, if you've got an entire playlist of music on your profile, people are more likely to stick around and listen to more than one track, which could end up basically doubling or even tripling the streams instantly from just one person. There's a few different ways that you can approach curating your own playlist. For example, you could create a playlist of all your own music. This would almost be like a repertoire type playlist, all your work in one place that you could pin to the top of your profile as a sort of taster session when listeners land on your page for the first time. Or perhaps a playlist of favorite tracks and artists with some of your own music featuring too. This is a good way to subtly introduce listeners to your music in a way that stacks you up against next artists or music that resonates with yours. A collaborative playlist, you could actually pair up with another artist, come together on a joint list, and then blast out to both of your audiences. Whichever approach that you choose, just make sure you're regularly updating it with new tracks from time to time. It looks good to Spotify, and it'll also notify any people who follow it, which means more chances of returning visitors and more chances of increasing those streaming numbers. So tip 7, submit to independent playlists. Not to keep going on and on about playlists, but some of Spotify's independent curators have playlists with thousands, even millions of followers, and they're often easier to get featured on than necessarily a Spotify editorial playlist. You can get started by using platforms like SubmitHub and SoundPlate to find curators to submit to, or you could also take a different approach and pitch your music to online blogs or even music influencers to get some traction from people who are already trusted by music listeners. Or there's a more traditional route of simply jumping on Spotify and scouting some independently curated playlists that you think your music would work well on, and then start reaching out to those curators. You can not only maximize your streams, but you're also more likely to make new, valuable industry connections in the process also. So that leads me on to tip 8. Include links to your Spotify in all marketing. If you've really pinned down your music strategy, you'll have left no stone unturned in your marketing approach. An email campaign, social media, music video, an artist website, an EPK, electronic press kit, a press release, and so on and so on. And while all that is great exposure, if you want to get more streams on Spotify specifically, you need to make sure that all of your marketing efforts are directly linking back to your Spotify profile. This means including a link to your Spotify profile in anything and everything, but especially in places like these. Your social media bios, and I mean all of them. Your email signature right down there at the bottom, your music bio, your EPK, your press release, a Spotify pre-save link on your website, and pinned as a comment on your YouTube music videos. Multi-channel marketing is definitely going to set your track up for success, but the real trick for transforming marketing into streams is pointing all of this promotion and your listeners in the right direction. Tip 9, use Spotify's promotional tools and services. Okay, so next up is all about Spotify's promotional tools. And first off is Spotify Ad Studio. If you've got a bit of money at your disposal and you can create your own Spotify ads through what's basically an in-house advertising platform, this then lets you promote an upcoming release with personalized Spotify ads that Spotify users will hear during breaks between songs on desktops and mobile devices. Getting started with Spotify Ad Studio is quite easy. All you'll need to do is submit a script, pitch a background song, and upload some cover art. Then this sends a prompt to Spotify to produce an ad, complete with a recorded voiceover. You can also customize things like target audience, your budget, make edits and view ad reports, so it's definitely worth looking into if it's something that you're interested in. Another cool tool to know about is Spotify codes. These are basically QR codes that Spotify users can scan to share or discover content on Spotify. You can generate codes for a lot of things beyond just songs, like albums, playlists, even artists and band profiles. But arguably the best part about Spotify codes is that they're shareable almost anywhere. This means that you can dish them out across your social medias, your website, and anywhere else that supports a Spotify URL embed. If a fan wants to check out your latest release, all they'll need to do is scan the code using the built-in scanner on the Spotify app, and they'll be automatically directed to your track. Mad easy. And I bet you didn't know that either. So don't forget Spotify codes. Tip 10, promote your music off Spotify. Along with taking advantage of all the in-app marketing tools and features that Spotify offers you, don't forget to keep up with all the marketing efforts outside of the platform, especially across social media. Obviously, platforms like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok have so many different features and tools to help you create engaging and entertaining content that'll get attention of your followers and make them want to check you out on Spotify. In fact, we've just published an entire video on content ideas that you can jump on to promote your music on TikTok, so make sure you check that out after this. And obviously it'll be down there in the description also. But the point is to produce great content that gets you noticed. When you've got people's attention, then it's about directing that attention towards your Spotify page. So make sure you've also got links to your Spotify in all of your social media bios. You want to make the listener's journey as seamless as possible when your social media and your Spotify are really close to the deal. Tip 11, release consistently. Last but definitely not least, it works out to be the key to getting more streams on Spotify is simply releasing more music on a regular basis. By giving your listeners a reason to come back time and time again is naturally going to work in your favor for getting your music heard and discovered. Spotify itself was built with this approach in mind. All of the platform's algorithmic playlists and reward schemes are based on activity with your profile. So the more people who return or interact with your profile, the higher you'll go up in Spotify's estimations and the more you'll be rewarded by the platform. But making high quality music takes time, and quality is never something you should subsidize for streams. So an easy way to scale up production to release more often is by releasing multiple versions of the same track. Remixes, covers, acoustic versions are all great ways to release new music more regularly without compromising necessarily on quality. So that's it guys, 11 ways to maximize the number of Spotify streams for your music and grow your online listener base. But remember, streams don't necessarily translate to success. So don't lose sight of what's really important while you're trying to get more streams. What really matters is putting out high quality music that speaks to listeners, building a genuine connection with your fans, and staying true to what you believe in yourself, your music, and your art. So from me, Vital, and the rest of the Ditto Music team, love and respect, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss a single video that we put out. I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Peace and love. Powers.